What's up, guys? We got Kyle in the chair today, and guys, this one's gonna be a special one. It's very rare that we get a feature and a look like this with this type of texture, and this is where I'm gonna get to really tap into my skill set and really have fun with it. So what the plan is here right now, right? Just by running through my hands with his hair and head, I noticed that his hair is actually quite fine. So initially, Kyle actually gets fades, okay? But what do we know about Kyle? Kyle, what do you do? What's your profession?
I do track and I'm in school.
School, and then what do you actually do for money, like for work? Modeling, okay? So he's a model. He's most likely gonna walk a lot of runways, and the last thing I wanna do as a model, guys, is go in with the clippers and really take it quite tight. So I think what really makes sense, and I just came up with this idea, and I truly think this is gonna work really well if executed properly, is just keeping a very natural but enhancing curls. Naturally, guys, he's half Jamaican and half Dutch, and we could already see a little bit how the hair is curling. But now if I expand, if I like really enhance the curls, if I really cut it in a way and style it in a way, really bring them out, I think this could really look fantastic with a nice rounded shape with a bit of puffiness through the top. So the goal here is, again, we're gonna work with some layers, but we're gonna keep and maintain as much weight and length as possible, because one thing that I noticed, like I said, it's quite fine. And you guys are gonna notice this, once I wet this down, you guys are gonna really see how the scalp's gonna be exposed, and because the hair is quite fine and not as dense, this is where we need to start looking at it technically and start thinking, okay, what are the decisions I'm gonna have to make to really make sure this looks the best? Let's get started. Okay, step one, guys, from the ridge of the nose, from the profile, going all the way towards the back. Okay, and we're gonna split that. Okay, we wanna make sure it's nice and clean, you see? Okay, now it's getting messy. I wanna show you guys, when it gets messy, no, keep it, Henry, we're gonna show this. We're just gonna go back into it. You see, I'm very picky when it comes to this, because it's gonna be a lot quicker and easier for me to just go back into it and then start from the very beginning, from the ridge of the nose, from the profile, going all the way towards the back, okay? Again, the reason why, guys, you wanna know why I got messy? It's because I was impatient, okay? So be patient, enjoy this process. Make love to the hair, okay? Right, Kyle?
Yeah.
Okay, next step, guys, from the apex right into the mastoid, and we're gonna separate this panel. And then from here, beautiful. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the other side. So guys, I want to explain to you, as I was doing that, what's important to know, we have, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have these quadrants because on top, you're probably like, why are you separating it? It's just because I want to just have more control. Can I put this in one? Absolutely. But one thing I notice is that the top is quite heavy. So a lot of the times when it comes to cutting, what tends to happen is we always just cut based on, you know, a system that we've been following for years. Example, you're probably most likely going to go from the sides, then go from the back, or back to the sides. I think the biggest problem really is the front and the layers in the back, or like on top, right? So what I'm going to do at the very end is actually layer the sides rather than doing the sides and then layering the top. And the reason why is because I just want more control. And because this is going to be most likely, what did I mention? A very curly look. I want to keep some of that weight through the side. So first step is really figuring out what we're going to do in the back, because the back also is the longest point of this haircut. So what we want to do is, like I said, layer this in a way where it's going to have the curls, it's going to expand, it's going to give more of a rounded shape. So all we're going to do really, guys, is go through here and really make sure that we're layering completely round. Okay, but one thing that is different and something that I've noticed is, if we look at the face, he has a really skinny like temple area, right? So what do I mean by that? Is that the temple in the face is quite small, and the last thing I want to do is really round off the corners. I actually want some width through the sides. So what we're gonna do is actually over direct. So as we get towards the back, I want to maintain some of this weight so we don't really like bring this down as short as possible and really expose the face. I think what's going to look best, given the fact that he has a smaller face, is having some width, and this is going to help with the sides as well, given the fact that we're going to keep some of that length. So first step, let's go into our profile section from the back. And guys, look how I do this with one motion. Okay, we go from the top, I'm not gonna move. You can grab the scissors. I'm not gonna move. And we're gonna come from this side, because you could do this literally from one motion, from standing on one complete side. We're gonna go all the way from the top to the bottom. Okay, nothing changes. Separate, separate. I'm gonna show you guys because you can't see what's happening on this side, but the same process will happen on the other side. Go back from here, and look how I separated. Start with the bottom, push this away, push this away, push this away. With the moisture of the hair, we don't even need a clip. Okay, I could see the profile, I pinch it, and now, make sure the head is straight, is look at that. I could already tell where the issue is. Look at the difference in length when I pull this out. So whoever cut it last kept a lot of weight through the crown, and what's actually happening is that we're not really seeing the texture and the curls because this is sitting really heavy all the way below the occipital. Okay, so all we wanna do is come from here and really just cut this round while maintaining the shortest, longest length from the bottom. Okay, look at this. Pick this up, shortest, longest length, and then boom. There we have it. Okay, we're gonna do this process all the way leading up to the corners, but the difference is gonna be as we get towards the corners, guys, what do we say? We're over directing. So everything is coming straight down the base. That means we're gonna make sure that it's coming straight from the root. So look at this. Pinch, grab, okay, comb gets pushed away. Straight from the root, I pull out. Okay, guidelines in here. Okay, what I could also do is make sure that head is slightly tilted, but I'm looking at the roots as I'm doing this, because the roots will never lie. They'll tell you the truth. And if the roots are straight from the base, I'm making that incision while maintaining and looking at the guideline. Okay. Okay guys, same process. Again, we're still not gonna over direct. We're just gonna make sure we're cutting a round cutting line. Look how easy it is as I tilt the head down. Look how easy it is. My body position still hasn't changed. Look at this, guys. Okay, come back from the root. The root's gonna give me the tension. Pull this out, look at that, how clear the guide is. Okay, all the way towards the top. Boom, beautiful. Okay, we got about a few more sections left, maybe 2 or 3 more. And this is where we're gonna work with a little bit more over direction. So given the fact that we only have 2 sections left, I'm just gonna slightly over direct this. Okay, look at that. Slightly over directed. There we go. Okay, we got 1 more section left. And there we have it. See the guideline and then make that incision. There we have it, guys. So the cutting line now, if we pull this out, is completely square, and how we did that is by maintaining the weight through the corner. So like I said, the last thing I wanted to do, because he had a smaller face, is condense this. We want to expand this because this is really going to accentuate some of his features. It's really going to make this stand out given the fact that his face is a little bit smaller. Cool. We see that beautiful curls now coming in. That's exactly what I wanted. And you're probably wondering, well, Alex, what about the external length at the bottom? Guys, because it's quite fine, I could always make a decision at the very end once it's dry to go back into it. Okay, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So look at the difference of the textures we see from this right side, and look how beautiful that's already sitting compared to this left side. Look at that. That's just done through layering. Okay, just by having that beautiful rounded layer, we see now the curls have already come in versus the difference. Look at all that weight that's not doing anything for him. Okay, so let's go back into it. Okay, same process. Again, straight off the base, pinch, grab, see the guide, make that incision. Okay, and we're gonna follow that all the way towards that left side. Okay guys, again, 2 sections left. What do we say? Pinch, grab, and over direct, because that's gonna maintain the width through the sides. Okay, guidelines in here, beautiful. Okay, we got about 1 or 2 left in here, and we should be all done. And then we're gonna cross-check it just to make sure that both left and right panel are completely balanced. Okay guys, so now all we're gonna do is cross-check this, and how we do it again, the opposite way. So we know that if we cut it vertically, the best way to cross-check this is to cut this horizontally. So I'm gonna pick this up, and whatever excess length we have, we're just gonna clean it up. Same process on this left side. Okay, we're gonna brush everything to the left side. We're gonna start from the middle point. Okay, look at that, nice and clean. We're gonna take another subsection and bring everything down. And look at this, look how easy it is. I'm gonna place my middle finger in here, come from the top, and there you have it. Okay, and now I could easily just pick this up and just cross-check it. Okay, for inconsistencies, we just wanna make sure we're slightly square. There we go. Okay, let's do that one more time. I'm gonna bring everything towards this side. I'm gonna come from the top, I'm gonna drop it. Then I'm gonna come from the bottom about a finger's width. Then you're gonna make sure everything is nice and tight as you bring it down. And then you're gonna place your middle finger and bring it into your middle finger, okay? Then you come back from the bottom, you elevate, and boom, okay? Slight inconsistency, clean it up. And there you guys have it. All right, cool. So that's exactly what I wanted to see. Those curls are really coming in, but look what I'm not happy about. This looks quite fine. I could see through it. So here's the thing, I feel like a lot of the times we overcomplicate it. And because this is quite curly, guys, the best way to do this is very much just making it visual. So what do I mean by that? Very simply, we want to tilt the head, and because it's quite fine, instead of going technically and subsectioning this, I could just make this decision very visually, okay? We know that right now that in here, right, this line looks a lot thicker than this bottom line. And what I wanna do, because it's quite fine, I just wanna make it slightly stronger. So all I'm gonna do is slightly grab this and not pull on it too much, because we know if I pull on this too much, it's gonna bounce really high, and just start making these decisions visually, okay? And this will allow me to just have a stronger outline, and it'll just give a more fuller look. There we go. See, look at the difference. Notice the difference in here. Looks a lot better already. Okay, we move on towards the middle. Same process. Again, very visual. And we just want to enhance some of this line. Okay, same process on this left side. Beautiful. Okay. Like I said, we could always go back into it once it's fully dry, but for now, I'm pretty happy on how this is sitting. Cool, let's move on towards the top. So like I said, guys, what did I say the second most important part of this haircut's gonna be? It's gonna be the top, but more importantly, it's gonna be the front. We know that the layers up here are sitting quite heavy, but I know that this decision on how the fringe is gonna sit will be the most important part before I go into my layers through the side. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna lift this up. Okay, I'm gonna start with this left panel first. So look how I grabbed this, guys. Okay, so this left panel will be the first section. And look at how I grab this straight from the middle. We're gonna make a slight diagonal, okay, because we wanna maintain as much weight through that corner in here. We're gonna come back from the top, and we're just gonna section this away. And now we have to make a decision on where we want this to sit. Now, what I noticed is before, this was sitting really long and heavy and it was hiding his face, but also we do have a bigger forehead. So I can't take this too tight and I can't keep it too long. And I do like all the freckles. If we notice, the freckles really start in this area. So I really want to showcase more of that. So there has to be kind of an in-between, but what's important to also understand, guys, look, as I pull this, when I let go of it, it has a bigger bounce. So we need to make sure that we're maintaining a little bit more length through the front here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab it. We're gonna use as the least amount of tension as possible, just to get an idea of how this is gonna sit, and then we're gonna go back into it if we still feel like it's too long. Let's get into it. Step one, we're gonna grab it like I mentioned. We're gonna come down, I'm gonna see how this bounces, and then, see I'm losing a little bit more tension through the corner. And then I want this to sit almost slightly above the eyebrow. So we're gonna go in from the external and just make our line, okay, with almost the least amount of tension as mentioned before. There you guys have it, okay? Now we'll move on towards the other side. Come back from the top and take another subsection from here, diagonally, with slightly more of a width through here. Bring this down, pick this up, and bring this back. We have our guideline, and then we can now come from the internal outwards. And we're gonna maintain a little bit more in here, given the fact that it has a stronger bounce. Beautiful, okay? And we'll keep doing that until we have nothing left to cut. Okay, come back. Again, I'm not going to elevate because we need to maintain the weight. I could see my guide, and I'm just gonna come slightly above it because I wanna maintain as much weight as possible through here. And guys, now the last section, I'm just gonna again visually cut this, but this is gonna most likely just be our layer from the top. I just wanna make sure we're maintaining a lot of this weight. Okay, and we could keep some of that through here. Beautiful. Okay, next step is we have two guidelines now, which is very important for you guys to understand. So we have a guideline from the front and we have a guideline from the back, okay? So if I pick this up, look at this. We have a guideline from the front and we have a guideline from the back. Now, what did I like about Kyle's hair? And what did I say I wanted? I want to maintain the most amount of curls as possible, but the last thing I want to do, given the hair that is fine, is reduce a lot of that weight because we're going to lose some of that look. So this is what I want to end up with. I want the shortest, longest length from the front with the shortest, longest length from the back, which is going to be the best amount of connection needed for this hair. So again, shortest, longest length, from shortest, longest length up here, and I'm just going to go and layer this, okay? Very simply. And look how easy it is moving forward. So at this point, all I have to do is come back from the back and connect it using our horizontal section. So look at that. Because I want this round and I want to remove the weight, all I got to do is completely cut that round, okay? Straight off the base, our guideline's already in here. There we have it. Same process on this left side. Boom, guideline, make that incision. Beautiful, okay? And we could over direct a little bit more. See, not much to cut. Let's probably do, because that's the length in the front. And there we have it, okay? Again, it's quite dry. With a bit of product, we're really gonna see this come out, okay? Now, the last step, guys, is, what did I say? The sides. So one thing we need to be very careful with, if we look at Kyle's corners in here, look how fine that is. If I take anything in here any shorter, we're gonna lose a lot of that weight. But also if I maintain a lot of this, look how flat that looks. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna separate the back because we don't really need the length in the back. All we're gonna do is we're gonna come back from the top. We're gonna separate the top, okay? And we're actually gonna use the lengths from the back as a guide, okay? And the reason why is because we kept all that weight through the corners in the back, which is gonna be the perfect length that we're gonna need to maintain the weight through the sides. Okay, so step one is, boom, we're gonna separate that. So we have this slight corner in here, guys, that's gonna act as our guide. I'm gonna take a horizontal section, I'm gonna drop it, I'm gonna pick this up, And look at this, we're gonna have our guide in here. We're gonna pick the left side up, and there you guys have it, okay? Our guideline's in here, and the last thing I wanna do is, like I said, I don't wanna reduce any more weight in here because it's quite fine. We're just gonna elevate and just slightly connect. Okay, we're gonna drop it. We're gonna do the same thing leading up to the top, okay? Boop. Slight guide, and pick this up. Guidelines in here. We could also use the length from the bottom and connect. Okay, same process leading up to the top. We're gonna completely elevate this. And the reason for this, what do we say? We wanna make sure this is gonna be fully round, vertically and horizontally. All right, okay guys, so we'll move on to the left side. Okay, we're gonna separate the back panel again. We're gonna bring everything forward. We're gonna separate the front. And now we have a guide from the sides. Okay, we're gonna bring everything forward. Okay, step one. This is how we're gonna do forward graduation. We're gonna pick this up, and technically it's actually forward layers. And look at that, guidelines in here. Make that incision. But as we get closer to the front, we wanna maintain the weight. So we're just gonna slightly go triangular. Okay, step two, again, with elevation, we're gonna pick this up. Look at that, guideline. One more section, again, same process with elevation. And last section. All right, drop it. Okay, really see now the curls being enhanced, and this is where we could also, whatever's left to connect, we could just lift, and look at that, and just connect. There we have it. All right, guys, so we're almost at the last stretch here. This is where now, because it's curly, guys, we could look at this visually and see how this is all sitting and make a decision on whatever is left to refine, okay? Okay, still feel like the back is sitting quite heavy, so we're gonna go back, elevate a little bit, and just deep point cuts to just have a bit more of a lift. There we go, beautiful. Okay, if it's sitting too flat, I go back into it and slightly just layer it more visually. All right, so guys, this is almost my final product. You can't really see the shape come in yet. We're gonna put some cream. I'm gonna show you guys how to style this, and we're gonna really make this come out. Okay, diffuser, speed level 3, heat level 1, and I'm just gonna pick this up, keep my hand in there, and just make sure that the diffuser just does its job. All right, just gonna refine a little bit more. Okay guys, so this is my final look on Kyle. We went back and refined a little bit of the fringe because I felt like it was a little bit too long, but this really showcases that beautiful rounded shape. It opened up his face. You see that beautiful texture. Look at that beautiful shape through the sides with those layers. You really see that texture. Super easy to style, super easy to do at home, and it really accentuates his features. This is the best look that we could give on Kyle, and I hope you guys liked it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.